So today we're going to read one of those little princess stories. I love them. She sometimes forgets her manners, doesn't she? I want my new shoes. I want my new shoes. Look at those beautiful little red shoes. I would also want them if they were mine. I want my new shoes. The maid was having terrible trouble persuading the little princess to try on her new shoes. I don't like new shoes, the princess shouted crossly through the door. Don't be like that, soothed the maid. I know you'll like them. No, I won't. To the little princess's surprise, the maid popped her head through the bedroom window and smiled. They're really, really lovely. So I think the story is going to start with the princess not liking her shoes, and I think she's going to love them in the end. The little princess had to admit that the shoes did look rather lovely when the maid lifted them out of the box. Look at them sparkling. They won't fit, said the little princess half-heartedly. The shoes were on in a jiffy. They fit just right, replied the maid. The little princess gasped. Oh, the shoes were perfect. Pretty, she whispered. The maid nodded. Now they can go back in the box. The little princess wasn't ready to take off her new shoes. But I just put them on, she argued, and now you can take them off again, said the maid. The shoes were for best only for going out. The little princess was getting crosser and crosser and crosser. I want to wear them. But you can't, said the maid nervously. And then the little princess yelled, look, you can see right to the back of her throat. No! The little princess screamed so loudly, the maid ran straight outside to find the king. The king was in the garden playing croquet. This is a game called croquet with the general. She won't take them off, panted the maid. The king took aim and hit the ball with his mallet. As they are her shoes, I suppose she can wear them. The ball bounced off several trees before plopping into the admiral's pond. But she will have to look after them, decided the king. She won't get another pair if she spoils those. Uh-oh. The little princess decided that she was never, ever going to take off her new shoes. She wore them all the time, even in the bath. Dangling her foot over the side of the tub was a bit tricky, but it was worth it. Even at meal times was spent looking under the table at her two shiny feet. You must see what you are eating, shouted the chef. It's tour de force. But the little princess just wasn't interested. No one in the castle could take the little princess's attention away from her red shoes. Scruff and Puss had tried everything they could think. Mind my shoes was the little princess's only comment before tip-tapping upstairs. Outside, the general called her up to the window. He was certain he could persuade the little princess to come out for a gallop. No, thank you, said the little princess. I don't want my shoes to get dirty. Things were starting to go too far. Princess, frowned the maid, you can't wear your shoes in bed. They're not in bed, grinned the little princess. They are outside the bed. The queen stuck her crown around the door. Sweetheart, shoes off. The little princess climbed grumpily out of bed. Well, I'm not leaving them on the floor. The new shoes were carefully placed in Puss's cat basket instead. Puss doesn't look good. She's got her hot water bottle, and now there's no place to sleep. The next morning, the little princess craned out of her window to watch the others having fun in the castle grounds. She couldn't step outside in case her new shoes got spoiled. Wearing a different pair was completely out of the question. I love them too much, the little princess whispered, but it was very hard to stay indoors on such a nice day. A little walk outside couldn't do any harm, could it? So the little princess walked very carefully. Steady, Scruff, she shouted when the dog came bounding. Keeping her new shoes clean had been really quite easy so far. Then the Prime Minister whisked past on his tricycle. Hello, he called over his shoulder before zigzagging all over the grass. The little girl princess laughed and then ran after him. The little princess rode her trike, played football, and went climbing. Unfortunately, there were some accidents along the way. "My washing!" cried the maid when the little princess's champion football kick swerved into the washing line. "All hands on deck!" cried the admiral when one of the princess's shoes flew into the pond. The little princess didn't care. She was having fun. "Guess what?" The maid had a surprise for the little princess. "You've been invited to a party." The little princess hugged her invitation gleefully. "Now you can wear your new shoes," said the maid. "Oh no," gasped the little princess. The red shoes were covered from buckle to sole in brown, sticky, yucky mud. The shoes were ruined. The little princess sat with her head in her hands, staring sadly at her toes. She could never go to the party now. The little princess got up and slowly walked inside. "Bye-bye, shoes," she whispered. The admiral lifted the lid so that she could drop the dirty pair of shoes into the dustbin. "Oh, look at all this lot," cried the maid, holding up the dirty washing. "Good thing mud washes off." The little princess stopped in her tracks. "Does mud wash off everything?" The maid nodded. "Bit of elbow grease, which means you have to work hard, but it will be as good as new." She looked down, but the little princess had disappeared. Do you know where she's gone? "Got them!" squealed the little princess when she had managed to fish the shoes out of the dustbin. She quickly found a cloth and got busy. By the time the little princess had finished, the shoes looked as good as new. Now she could wear them to the party. The little princess thought for a moment. "No, parties are too messy." She began to giggle. "For parties, I've got special occasion welly boots." And look at those beautiful boots. What a lovely story.